1, 2, 3. No.
It was good for me, though.
It was, okay, good. It was terrible for me. But you know what? That's the patriarchy.
Forever. I'm sporting my little class. You can't see I'm sorting glasses today. I don't really have my glasses on, but today was a glasses day. We're at home. We're doing housework. We're, cash.
He's a professor. Yes, giving you intellectual. Delon, in honor of this week's topic, I thought that we would kick off this episode with a game that I'm calling A Little Under a Minute. Here's how it works. You and I will compete to see who can name the most artists with Lil in their name in under a minute.
No, man. No, this is not fair. You stay on the internet. You live on the internet and on TV. Like you're gonna win. I'm not gonna be able to get that many people. That's so unfair.
I think that you should not discount yourself in that way. You don't know. You're very smart.
I am very smart.
And you're plugged in. You're plugged in. I feel like you'll be able to name people. Listen, the game is not fair.
I'll get a few. But you'll be able to get a lot of them though.
Okay. Well, you know what? The game is not fair, but life isn't fair. I mean, ever heard of the gender pay gap? I make 84 cents on the dollar compared to you.
What are you actually talking about? Wait, remember, weren't your student loans just forgiven, madam?
You know what? Okay, the clock is starting right now.
Asshole.
Go.
Okay. I'm saying Lil Bow Wow. I'm saying that counts. Lil Bow Wow, Lil Wayne, Lil Yeezy. No, Lil. Wait, wasn't there Lil Woozy? Lil Woozy? There was Lil Woozy.
I don't. That doesn't sound real, but I'll take it.
Lil Mama.
Yes.
Lil Nas X.
Yes.
Lil T-Pain. I don't know. But Lil Woozy was
5. I'll give you Lil Woozy. That's 6. You've got 25 seconds.
Oh my God. I don't know no more. Lil Pete. Lil Daggers. Lil N-word.
You're just naming random things. Okay, 7, 6, 5, 4,
Lil
3,
time.
2, 1.
Okay.
You named 6. You named 6 little people. And now we're gonna start with my time, and the clock officially starts now. Lil Wayne, Lil Soprano, Lil Baby, Lil Kim, Lil Durk, Lil Flex, Lil Jon, Lil Nas X, Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Yachty, Lil Bibby, Lil Twist, Lil Pimp, Lil Fizz, Lil Boogie, Lil Romeo, Lil Scrappy, Lil Bow Wow, Lil Pimp, Lil Dicky, Lil Mama, Lil Xan, Lil Flip, Lil Debbie, and
not Lil Debbie. I hate you for Lil Debbie. I hate you so much for Lil Debbie.
It's a real name. And look at that, right on time at the end of a minute. So Delon, you named 6, and ballpark, I think I definitely named
Class,
20.
This bitch was sitting here reading them. For the record, this bitch was sitting here reading them.
You know what? This is reparations. You know what I mean? The feminine struggle is so real that I deserve to be able to cheat. Scammers are in. I'm a scammer now.
You Trump ruined Trump card, but you continue to use that Trump card. I'm gonna let you use it because I have empathy. Ooh, wait, no.
Listen. Wait.
I hate you for that.
Let me fix it. Welcome back to Let Me Fix It, the podcast that says, a little bit of Erica by my side, a little bit of Rita is all I need, a little bit of Tina. What happened to that guy?
Wow, Mambo number 5. Wow, that's a blast from the past, man.
He had one song. I'm Francesca Ramsey. I'm an actress, a producer, a writer, a musician, and graphic designer.
And I'm DeLon Grant. I'm an actor, a singer, a photographer, a writer, an educator, all the things. And if you couldn't tell from Francesca's totally rigged and unfair game where she was reading the shit, this week's episode is all about Lil rapper, actor whose career needs a lot of help. Today we're talking about Lil Bow Wow.
That is correct. Lil Bow Wow burst onto the music scene in 2000 at just 13 years old with his debut album, Beware of Dog. The album peaked at number 10 and was well received by audiences and critics. A few albums, movies, and a name change later, Bow Wow dropped two of his most successful songs to date, Let Me Hold You, featuring Omarion, and Like You, featuring his then-girlfriend, Ciara. And the songs hit number 4 and number 3 on the Billboard charts, respectively. DeLon, did you not know she was his girlfriend at the time?
I mean, see how unplugged I am? I had no idea they dated. Because in my mind, Ciara's way older than him.
No, she's not. She's only a year older than him, but she's always looked like more mature. I think he's also just small. But now, legit. Even now, when I look at pictures of the two of them, I'm like, how are they the same age?
I think it's the Lil of it all. He just stayed Lil because we just kept calling him Lil. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I will say, Like You was an absolutely. Do you remember the song?
Girl, I don't know the song. I listened to it.
You do.
I don't know this.
Okay, ready? I ain't never had nobody show me all the things that you don't show me in the special way you feel when you're home and we gonna know
It's the other one I don't know. The Omarion one I don't know.
Yeah, nobody. Yeah. Who remembers Omarion? No one knows him. But that song, I would say the chorus of Like You ties with What Would You Do for the longest, most rambling chorus of all time.
Heard. You know what? With Like You, when Lil Bow Wow comes in and he's like starting to rap, it actually still sounds like the chorus, right? Because his flow just kind of sits in that pocket.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
It's a good song.
Yeah. But friends, class, despite putting out 7 albums, though, including a collab album with Omarion and appearing in a number of movies and TV shows, for many, the artist formerly known as Lil Bow Wow has become synonymous with being, I hate to say it here, a little cringy. So what happened? How did this pup go from rapping childhood prodigy to 29-year-old rap retiree? I hope there's a benefits plan. Today, we're going to dive into Lil Bow Wow's career, and then, as usual, we're going to each pitch how we would fix it. So let's dive in. This is Lil Bow Wow. Let me fix it.
Shad Gregory Moss, better known as Lil Bow Wow, was born in Columbus, Ohio in March 1987. At just 3 years old, he fell in love with rap music after being introduced to NWA. Why?
I mean, riddle me this.
Why was a 3-year-old listening to niggas with attitude?
I mean, fuck the police, right? Come on now. That's crazy.
Literally, sir, you aren't even old enough for training wheels.
This is what I'm saying.
You say F the police?
All here saying fuck the police. That's crazy.
So by age 6, he was performing locally as Kid Gangsta. Thank goodness he changed that name, okay? His big break came in 1993 when he was discovered by Snoop Dogg during a stop in Columbus during the Chronic Tour. Now, Shad's mom and dad said, "You gonna go to the Chronic Tour with us," and that is where he is.
At 6 years, was it? How old was he? 3?
He was 6
years old.
Okay, Shad had begged his mom to take him to the concert, and during a break in the show, the announcer asked if anyone wanted to come up on stage and rap. Immediately, Shad volunteered and was pulled up on stage, and after a number of terrible performances, no one was expecting much from this little 6-year-old, but to everyone's surprise, he started freestyling like a pro.
That is crazy. Fran, if you asked me to freestyle right now, I would embarrass myself thoroughly. A 6-year-old freestyling? What?
A 6-year-old freestyling. Afterwards, Snoop met him backstage, and seeing the similarities between him and the young kid, he was like, "Nah, your name is Lil Bow Wow." He then asked Shad's mom if he could join the tour, and he spent the rest of the summer performing with Snoop.
Was there a chaperone? Did his mother go?
I have no idea. Delani, put a picture in the doc. Please explain to the class what this photo is.
So it's a young Snoop Dogg and a young oh god, why am I blanking on his name? The producer.
Dr. Dre? No,
Dr. Dre.
Did I make that? Yes.
Yeah, no.
Yes.
So it's a young Snoop Dogg class and a young Dr. Dre, and between them is this child.
A child.
Who Dr. Dre is holding up, and that is Lil Bow Wow. He's adorable, though.
He's a zygote. He is still in the utero. He is so little. Also, can we just talk about Snoop was fine. I remember him being cute, but he is
the skin was popping though, right?
And the cheekbones.
Yeah, no, he could get it. He could get it.
Also, he looks like a Doberman Pinscher. I get it. He really does.
And wait, he really does. Wait, and didn't he have some Doberman Pinschers like in his music videos? I think
he
that's like
turns into a Doberman Pinscher in I forget which music video. He definitely
Snoop Doggy Dogg.
He definitely turns into a dog in the video, and you could see it. The eyebrows are on fleek.
It's the front mouth and nose.
Yes.
It's kind of just pointing, you know.
Yeah.
Crazy that Snoop Dogg named him Lil Bow Wow. He gave him the name. That's crazy.
He was like, "Your name is not Lil Gangsta. You don't know."
Kid Gangsta. It's terrible. It's so bad.
But I will say, Lil Bow Wow does look kind of similar to Snoop.
Doesn't he?
They look like they could be related.
That's his son. That's his son. So after being discovered, Lil Bow Wow hit the ground running. Child labor laws be damned. He was featured on Snoop's album Doggy Style. He also performed on the Arsenio Hall show, and he even made an appearance in the Gin and Juice music video. In 1998, Lil Bow Wow was introduced to music producer Jermaine Dupri, who was huge at the time, who later signed him to his record label So So Def Records. In 1998, his song with Jermaine Dupri, Stick Up, was featured on the Wild Wild West soundtrack. So class, just a quick factoid, a history lesson. If you don't remember this movie, Wild Wild West, it was Will Smith.
It's because no one wanted to see it.
Well, listen, I also worked at Burger King, and so they have like a buy with Burger King, so it was everywhere. The music was in the store. We had
they
all, like,
really thought this movie was going to be big.
It was supposed to be huge. It wasn't, class. So it starred Will Smith and Kevin Kline, and it was one of the most expensive movies ever made. It cost $170 million, and if you adjust that for inflation now, that comes out to be just over $300 million, which, I mean, there were trains, and it was like steampunk. Yeah, it was weird. It was supposed to be. It was also pitched as like a funny action movie, and it was like I don't know. It was lost.
I think it also was post Men in Black, and so they were just like Men in Black. I think just it was such a huge movie, and Will Smith was just like this overpowering movie star that I think they just assumed like that the movie would come together and people would show out for it, and it just wasn't good.
The story was weird, and maybe that was it. It was just the right after Men in Black, and it's kind of a similar thing, a buddy comedy, right?
Yeah.
The movie was slammed by critics and bombed at the box office, but it did manage to get 8 Razzie Award nominations, including Worst Original Song for Will Smith's Wild Wild West, which wasn't that bad. I didn't love it, but I kind of was singing it. Come on, the Wild Wild West. Come on, it was great. Cisco was in that. Good call.
Yes, I liked the song, but whatever.
I loved it.
A few years later, in 2000. Oh wait, I want to ask this. 1993. What kind of music were you listening to in the 3rd grade, DeLon?
Oh, girl, I think I had the SWV first cassette tape, which I probably shouldn't have been listening to. But I think that's what I can remember. Like, I think that's all I had. What were you listening to?
Remember performing in the talent show, wearing my floppy blossom hat, singing Brandy's Sitting Up in My Room. Sitting up in my room. Back here thinking about you. And I remember everyone being like, her? It's like truly a coming of age movie scene where everyone's like, her? What is she doing? And then I got up there and I was like, seems like and I was like stepping and like kicking.
I know you were.
So bad.
I did have that single sitting up in my room, and when it was my turn to do the dishes, that's what I played on loop to do the dishes. And it annoyed everyone in my house.
That is so funny.
So funny.
All right, so flash forward a few years later to 2000, Lil Bow Wow released his debut album, Beware of Dog. Now, you know I love puns, and apparently so does Bow Wow, because the dog puns are a running theme with his albums and songs. He had a song called Puppy Love. His next album was Doggy Bag. Then he had Unleashed.
The brand is strong. The brand is strong.
And I put a picture of the album in here.
I do remember this.
He's adorable. He's adorable. And I think that that's working against him. He's just too cute. You cannot convince me that this child is like a little hoodlum.
Right. And no matter how many pit bulls you put in front of them, or how big their clothes are, he's like an innocent cherub. It's like his face is so sweet.
He does. It's the cherub. It's very cherub is like an angel, right?
Yeah. It's like the Valentine Cupid.
Yes, he just looks adorable.
Yeah. So Lil Bow Wow's first single was Bounce With Me. Now, this is a Lil Bow Wow I remember. I remember this song, Bounce With Me, Bounce With Me. I really do remember that one. The rest of them are kind of lost on me. I do know Like You, but like Bounce With Me was the first thing that I remember when we were starting this episode. The song was featured on the soundtrack for Big Mama's House, starring Martin Lawrence, feature film. Now, Fran, you wrote this in the outline. Big Mama's House is definitely cringy.
The clips in the music video, I was like, this is bad. This is bad.
The comedy is most definitely cringy, but Big Mama's House is one of those movies that like, it was a black family comedy that like played on loop in my house growing up. So it has such like me and my sisters can quote it, and like it just like has such a soft spot for me. But despite society, thankfully, being past an era where, you know, comedians putting on dresses and wigs and fat suits to become
Except
women.
For Tyler Perry. He's like, you will take that from my cold, dead hands.
Take note, Tyler. But despite all that, I think, you know, the comedy still slaps. It's sexist, it's misogynist, it's homophobic, but it's like in the marrow of my DNA. So like, it still like slaps.
Yeah, class. If you're not familiar with this movie, I don't remember the premise other than it's Martin Lawrence in a fat suit, and he's got, it's so many layers of like cringe, but he has this like prosthetic makeup on his face.
No, he has a whole prosthetic mask on. Yeah,
it looks like he has a Play-Doh face.
Well, the idea that anyone to believe that was that real woman's face is crazy to me. Especially her family members, right?
Yeah.
But willing suspension of disbelief, right? It's storytelling.
Oh my God. What else happens in the music video?
Back to the music video. Yeah, there's a pit bull in it for whatever reason. Because that, I guess, Bow Wow, dog.
And he turns into Bow Wow.
Oh, he does.
Yes.
There was a lot of like sexy women. I guess it's indicative of hip hop, but like this kid's like what, 13 at the time?
Yeah, there is a sexy woman. So Bow Wow is like strolling around his neighborhood and like rapping in the camera. And then there's a lady in her front yard watering the grass, but then she's also like watering herself in slow-mo. It's like, what is that is a grown-ass woman. So that gave me a little side eye. But then there's like kid elements. There's like kids playing double dutch and basketball and
so they tried
around.
To balance it a little bit.
Exactly. They're like, parents are watching, so we gotta sex it up.
And if we do this, they can't critique us too much. You know what I mean?
I guess so. I will say I was not familiar with the song. Little Bow Wow's flow is very impressive.
Well, and here's the thing. He had a ghostwriter, right? He wasn't writing.
Of course. He was not. I highly doubt.
Come on.
Because the things he was talking about, he's so big and bad. He got it all together. It's like, sir, you're still writing with training wheels. What are you talking about?
It's very small and nice right now.
Yeah. He did have one line that I wrote down, and I rock an iced out Mickey Mouse around my neck.
I saw that.
I loved that part.
That was kind of like a wink and a nod. I like that too. I like it.
Yeah. I mean, he's just so adorable, and he's trying hard to look rough, pun intended. And for me, I just think that that's like a pervasive problem throughout his career, is trying to appear as something that he's not. He's got the baby face, the light eyes. He looks harmless.
Well, and that's what happens when you're a kid trying to play an adult, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like they grow up so early.
Yeah, for sure. I do think that is I think that's going to come up in our conversation more about him, because I kind of think that that's where his struggle has been, is transitioning from a famous kid to an adult, you know,
Right.
like it's a hard one. So
Right.
Little Bow Wow's Beware of Dog eventually went double platinum with over 2 million copies sold. In 2002, the year we graduated from high school, the now 15-year-old Lil Bow Wow dropped his follow-up album, Doggy Bag, and its lead single, Take You Home, which I did not remember by name, but when I looked it up, I definitely remembered this song at the time. It was a hit. The song is a bop.
The song is definitely a bop. The beat behind it is sickening. I mean, I will say this, though, like, this one was even more cringy than Bounce With Me. He's like licking his lips at these like crop top ladies. I'm like, so you are a child.
Grown ass women. And the lyrics, oh, did you freeze? Hold on.
No, I guess I might have frozen on your end.
Oh, there you
I'm
go.
okay.
You're back. You froze on my end for a second.
Okay.
The grown-ass ladies are dancing, and then, of course, the chorus is, I just want to take you home. And I'm like, you want to give him a ride home for pool?
You're carpooling home?
You a carpool?
Come over here on my skateboard.
That is a child. And to your earlier point about them trying to balance it in that first music video, it feels like they're trying to do that here too, where they've got these sexy women and then they have little girls. The little girls are like doing more, PG moves, but then the women are like licking their fingers, and touching their abdominals, and
it's how the images line up, right? At one point he like licks his lips, and then it's an adult ass woman next, right? So it's like the images are telling a story. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's,
one of the other things I wanted to mention about this is they did this a lot in the early aughts with music videos. There was a whole scene lit before the actual movie or music video started. Yes. Class, Mark Curry, comedian, Eddie Griffin, comedian, are doing this little skit before Little Bow Wow's taking.
And why are they there?
Who the fuck knows how it's relevant at all? Mark Curry is trying to get some Little Bow Wow merch for his doll for his daughter, and Eddie Griffin runs a store, and it's so not related to anything. No. But I pointed this out because I was like, I hated this back then too. Just get to the music video.
Exactly. And like it makes sense when, for example, the other movie is Big Mama's House. So there's clips from Big Mama's House in the video. Yeah. Get it. But Mark Curry and Eddie Griffith, and then they're just doing so much. Like Mark, he's like, he's banging on the window. My daughter needs the toy, and Eddie Griffith's like, your daughter's ugly.
It's so clearly improv. It's so clearly improv.
It's so clearly. Right? It's like we should have cut all of this.
Yes, please.
And then, And then to your point about the 2000s, not whatever else you call it. We zoom in and we're inside like a factory. Why is every fucking music video inside a factory?
You know what's really funny? It actually is giving J-Lo's. This Is Me Now. Like it's all CGI.
Yes.
J-Lo's is updated and better, but this was the whole music video was CGI.
But I feel like there's an Aaliyah music video where they go inside like the engine of a.
Are You That Somebody? No.
Yes,
Are You That Somebody?
No, but like similarly in Are You That Somebody, it's like a metal, dark, industrial look. And it's similar in this video where there's like conveyor belts. Like I don't understand. For no reason.
Well, and this is why we back to tap back into J-Lo, This Is Me Now, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That is why we kept saying this feels like a music video. It's not a music video. It's not a music video. But very dated, right? You're right.
Yes. It does feel like a very old style. I do want to point out that when I heard the song, it reminded me of Clips's Grindin'. And when I went to look them up, they were both produced by the Neptunes. So, it has that signature, like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like this like weird syncopated drum thing that's happening. I love it, but it's like a very Pharrell sound that he used in a lot of their songs.
It's so funny when you wrote that in the doc. I heard Green Light. It's Beyonce's Green Light. It's like a slowed down version of Green Light. It has the same like bass kind of line and a drum-ish thing. So that was just something I thought of too.
Okay, and I just did a quick Google. Green Light produced by Pharrell.
Are you serious?
He has, I mean, it's Pharrell and the other guy. I don't know his name is Sean. Sean, I think his name is Sean. The Neptunes. They do have a very signature, because you know another song that is produced by them that sounds in the same vein is Britney Spears' Boys. It's like,
oh yes, it's very percussive.
It's very percussive, but it's like pitched up. I don't know. I'm sure if we know some songwriters.
Rod Kim, where you at?
Rod, where you at?
Class, we had Rod Kim, who's like a brilliant music producer and songwriter.
He would be able to tell us. He'd be like, "Oh, it's this instrument.
It's this thing, right?"
Yes, but you can really hear it. So shout out to the Neptunes because the brand is strong.
We hear you everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 2002 was a big year for Lil Bow Wow. Not only did he make his acting debut starring in Like Mike, which told the story. Not only did he make his acting debut starring in Like Mike, which told the story of a young orphan. There's always an orphan who gets the chance to play in the NBA. 2002 was also the year he officially dropped Lil from his stage name. In an interview with MTV News, he said, "I changed my name because I'm getting older now, and it's too many Lils. All these Lil rappers. I'm just kind of getting real irritated by it. Besides, I'm growing up. I'm not little anymore. I just decided that 2 weeks ago. Crazy. I really got irritable. It's all these Lil cats. Forget it. I'm Bow Wow now. Everything's just Bow Wow. No Lil, Bow Wow."
I just thought there was something so funny about, I just decided that 2 weeks ago.
Decided that 2 weeks ago.
You're not that grown up.
Also, like, not only the declaration, but the anger around it. You just decided it's funny, interesting.
Yeah, well, apparently the name change worked because just a few years later, in 2005, Bow Wow, sans the Little, dropped two of his biggest career hits, like we mentioned earlier, Let Me Hold You, featuring Omarion, and Like You with his then-girlfriend, Ciara.
Yeah, that second one, that Omarion one, I just don't know.
Yeah, they had a whole album together.
I know. Oof,
and I can't tell you, I can one Omarion song. Do you know that song? Touch, dun, dun, dun. Touch, dun, dun, dun. I don't know. Oh, baby, by the way.
Oh, baby, by the way. Yes, that's the jam. Friend, your memory is fucking insane sometimes. Honest to God, your memory is crazy.
Now ask me my routing number, and I don't fucking know.
Right, totally. Useless factoids? Yes.
Yes.
So, in the years since Lil Bow Wow, Hold the Little, dropped his first album, he's had a number of singles that have showed up on rap and hip-hop charts. He appeared on the remix of JoJo's Baby It's You. He's also collaborated with a number of hit artists, including Chris Brown, way too many times, T-Pain, Soulja Boy, T.I., and he even collaborated, as we've been saying, with Omarion on a whole album. There was also this half man, half dog mixtapes, which is just a little weird. I mean, again, it's the brand, you know?
Yeah.
Half man, half dog. I guess he's growing out of the dog.
It's like the back legs are dog and the front is a man? You're like a centaur? I don't know.
A centaur. It's poetic. It's meant to be poetic. So despite continuing to put out music throughout the aughts, nothing has managed to capture the heights of Like You. In 2014, Bow Wow announced that he had officially... In 2014, Bow Wow announced that he was officially retiring his stage name and instead going by his real name, Shad Moss.
You know, I think that this Shad Moss sounds so cool. It sounds like something that you'd kind of order at like a health food store.
Can you add the Shad Moss?
Yeah, can I get a shot of the Shad Moss? Yeah, you guys want one? It's really good for your skin. Also, just shad. Something about shad is very cool.
Shad sounds like the French pronunciation of Chad. Shad. And or like somebody said this to him growing up. Oh, you shad. Oh, what are you shad? Some kid said that to him 17 times.
I would be so freaking pissed. It is a very cool name. In 2016, after bouncing between record labels and a number of delayed album releases, Shad, the artist formerly known as Bow Wow and Lil Bow Wow, announced that he would be retiring from rap and that his final album would be titled Before 30, and it would be released by Death Row Records. Okay, so the album is kind of a misnomer since he's 37.
Hilarious.
It's giving Adele. Adele is giving these different numbered. But I have a question for you, Delon. What is it about rappers announcing their retirement? Just go. Just go.
Away. You know what? Just Andre 3000 that thing. Pick up a crazy flute and just sit down somewhere, you know?
Exactly. You don't have to tell us about it. And honestly, I feel like people were kind of like, oh, he's still making music? Okay, whatever.
Totally. I mean, honestly, I often get him mixed up with Lil Romeo, who is because I think Lil Bow Wow's Master P's son, but Lil Romeo's Master P's son. I completely forgot about this man.
Romeo is Master P's son. Lil Bow Wow is, I don't know who his mama
God's
is.
Child. So when it comes to film and TV, Shad Bow Wow has remained booked and busy. He co-hosted a season of 106 in Park and had a recurring role in HBO's Entourage and the short-lived CBS series CSI Cyber. And he starred in the movies Medea's Happy Family, Lotto Ticket, and Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
I feel like everyone is in Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
Because there's 7,000 of them motherfuckers. I'm surprised you're not in one yet.
It's giving Where's Waldo. Okay. I'm going to watch that movie and be like, wait a second, I am in this
Totally.
I'm just roaming around in the background. Like, how did I get in here?
How ridiculous. But despite all of his success, Bow Wow has had a bit of financial trouble. So to quote you, friend, why do all these celebrities have financial trouble? Just giving Lauryn Hill. He was sued by a bank in Georgia for a repossessed car. He was sought out by the IRS for back taxes for upwards of $200,000 and later landed in family court in 2012 over unpaid child support. At the time, Bow Wow told the court he was broke. Sure, he penned songs like Mo Money, Get Money, She in Love with the Money, and Money in the Way, but he couldn't possibly pay the court ordered $3,000 a month because he only had $1,500 in his checking account. Crazy. Meanwhile, a few days later, he was announced as the co-host of 106 in Park. So what is it then? You ain't got money, you got money, you got a job, you ain't got a job. What's happening?
What's the truth, dog? Yeah, I had to laugh at all of the songs about money because it's like, so you're a liar. So you are a liar.
Like that. Well done with that, friend, because that was funny. Hilarious.
Oh, thank you. Now listen here. That was not Lil Bow Wow's only paw in mouth moment.
Boo. Wah, wah, wah.
I know. I was genuinely racking my brain trying to put more dog puns in here. And sometimes you just got to squeeze them in there. They don't always work, but I tried. In 2017, he shared a photo of a private jet captioned, "Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta Press Tour starts today. I'm on the move." And it's, a pretty normal photo of a private jet on a runway with a Mercedes out front. But the next day, someone shared on Snapchat that Bow Wow had been on his commercial flight, despite posting that private jet photo. It was later revealed that the image was ripped from the private jet company's website. The fumble quickly went viral, and thus the Bow Wow Challenge was born, with all of Black Twitter chiming in with seemingly luxurious or envy-worthy photos of themselves that were obviously faked. Now, Delon, I put some examples in the doc.
First of all, let's talk about Black Twitter. Black Twitter is amazing, and the internet is unfucking parallel. So, class, this first picture, it says, "On vacation in Hawaii, #Bow Wow Challenge," and it's like this picture of a sea with what looks like two persons' knees as if they're sitting on like a lawn chair or like a beach chair. It's someone's hands in front of their TV. They're two knuckles.
They're
in front
knuckles.
Of a TV. Brilliant.
It's also so funny because, like, how did you figure out that your knuckles look like they could be somebody's thighs and knees? It's so freaking funny. There's another one that says "Live at the Stadium" for the Bow Wow Challenge, and it looks like somebody is sitting in the stands of like a sports arena, and then it's a zoom out, and it's just their laptop and their phone next to it. They've got a whole production. There's a guy holding a lamp to get the lighting correct.
The photographer, it's crazy. Props for the phone. This next one, it says, with my man, hashtag Bow Wow challenge. It shows feet, a woman's feet, obviously because of the shoes, and a man's feet based on the shoes. We know, gender's a construct, but for the purposes of this, they're both wearing jeans. The other photo is her holding up the jeans over the boots. Brilliant.
Oh my God, it's so funny. Then there's also another one where it's like a bunch of alcohol bottles, and it's like, hella bottles for tonight. Bow Wow challenge. And then the zoom out is the bottles are tiny.
They're like the one hitters you get from like
I get like samples, or is that what they are? Oh my God.
I get one hitters, I don't know. But listen, the photo before really is giving authentic. It looks like real big bottles.
You got a macro lens on that iPhone, I guess. It's clear and crisp.
Because it's low lighting in there, too. So, most recently in 2018, Bow Wow launched a luxury line of do-rags. And in 2020, Bow Wow completed The Masked Singer as Frog, finishing 3rd place. Just this year, he opened a restaurant in Atlanta called Prime on Peachtree. Listen, he's trying to let me fix it himself. He's trying to he said, let me grasp at all the things to try to stay relevant and make some money. Because
it's very random. Because when I think do-rag, I don't think luxury do-rag. I mean, I feel like that's something that you spend like $3 on, right?
Well, I mean, people are wearing them in public, and like people are wearing their bonnets in public. So maybe it's like a stylish do-rag. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And then the restaurant of it all, I get it, but restaurants are hard. You end up spending so much money, and they're very rarely profitable. So
well, I wonder if he's like a silent partner in like, because restaurants usually have.
He's not silent enough.
Heard, yes, because
it's on his Wikipedia,
right? So now that we've gone over Bow Wow's career, it's time for us to fix it. But first, let's take a quick break. And we're back. Fran, do you want to go first?
Yeah, look, I get it that Shad wants to drop the Lil Bow Wow moniker, but the brand is so strong. I feel like he should have leaned into it. Give us some dog stuff. Give us some cute, give us some thuggish dog stuff. I saw a dog in my neighborhood wearing a little rhinestone spiked collar. It was very chic. It was like a little edgy. I saw a pit bull wearing a pearl necklace. I was like, it was cool because it's like a very kind of a scary, quote unquote, dog wearing like this luxurious thing. I just feel like there's an untapped market there.
I hear you.
Cute dog accessories. Flex wears a little bandana. Give us a line of bandanas. I would be up in there.
I also love that because I thought about this too. Like, it's hard to pivot, like we said earlier, from youth to adulthood in the entertainment industry. It's hard, period, right, from youth to adulthood. But it's also like hard to just pivot outside of the entertainment industry because what are your transferable skills? So to add on to what you're saying, why not come up with like a veterinarian service that and call it Bow Wow service or whatever. And you can be a silent partner in it, but it's another stream of income and it kind of legitimizes you in a different way. And who knows, maybe you become an animal mogul. You know what I mean?
Yes. Give us some little pet snacks. I just feel like Lil Bow Wow is just like such a recognizable name. You slap that on something, I feel like people would turn out for it. I also could see a Lil Bow Wow cartoon series. Lil Bow Wow is an actor. Give us a bunch of little pups running the streets.
That's cute.
Little pound puppies, and he could be doing a voice of one of them. They break out of the pound. I don't know. They're like,
no, I love the idea of like having a dog cartoon that's Lil Bow Wow's adventures or something. That's really cute.
Especially because we already have Paw Patrol. We don't need fucking propaganda for kids. Give us
Paw Patrol.
They're police. They are police.
I know. It just dawned on me as you said it.
Yes, I think a Lil Bow Wow animated series would be so cute. It sells itself. The dog snacks, the clothing, the stuffed animals, the merch.
Merch.
Oh my God. And the thing is kids are such a great market because today's iPhone and iPad kids, the parents put the shit on and just let it run in the background.
Oh, yes.
Just get those coins. put it in the background, teach them how to, count, get the ABCs, whatever. The parents will, I want Lil Bow Wow. I want Baby Shark.
Oh
Lil
my
Bow Wow
God.
could be the
My
next
nephew
thing.
says all the time, baby shark, baby shark. But also, there are people who have complete YouTube careers because those kids just watch that stuff on loop, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I hear you. I love that idea.
What's your fix?
So my fix is I think he needs to like raise his profile a little bit, right? He needs to like pivot in some way. And I know that he's done rapping, but my fix is to do a Tiny Desk concert. Everyone's doing them. It's like they're handing them out like candy.
The way you said that, everyone's doing them. It's just so funny. But you're right. A lot of people are doing them.
Everyone's doing them. They're totally in vogue, but they also like raise your profile. It's an indie way to get people talking about you, remembering who you are. And also it adds a level of legitimacy and respect around the things you've created.
You're doing it live. You're not in the studio.
And you get a chance to like maybe rearrange them and do them differently. And how does that work? We're still talking about T-Pain's. T-Pain's was sickening.
Yeah. And I think T-Pain is a really great example, right? Because for so many, they associated him with the auto-tune.
Yeah.
And then he's like, nah, bitch, I can really sing. And so similarly with Lil Bow Wow, he can rap. Like, let's see you fucking rap and show us. Like, y'all thought I was just like a little kid, one trick pony, but like, I can really do this shit. I think that would be wonderful.
And also, like, update the tunes, right? You're no longer the kid singing those songs. So how can you change the lyrics to make it fit who you are today? Maybe that's the move. The other thing is he was actually a host of a reality TV show called After Happily Ever After or something like that. It was like couples trying to see if they were going to get married again.
Okay.
I'd say lean into that some more, get that host money, create your own little
He was a good host.
Show. Was he really?
He was. I looked up some clips from 106 in Park, and he's, you know what it is? He's very charming. There's something about him that's just like lovable.
He's easy on the eyes.
Easy on the eyes, but he just has like a charisma factor that, you know what? To the point of the hosting thing, he could be in the Mario Lopez lane. Mario Lopez is hosting every goddamn thing.
Nobody even knows he was an actor.
No one
Saved by the Bell?
No one is thinking. And Saved by the Bell is his only fucking credit.
Only credit.
But now he's doing every
it's Access Hollywood,
all of those shows, Entertainment Tonight, all of that stuff.
Something like that. Yeah,
maybe Lil Bow Wow could be doing, red carpet at Hip Hop Honors, BET Awards, sports.
Why not?
The Like Mike basketball thing. He could be on the sidelines at a basketball game.
I mean, and if you like sports, get him on ESPN. What do I know? I know nothing of sports. I know nothing of sports. But to your point, there's a lot of opportunity to be a host, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Now, class, we want to know, did we fix Lil Bow Wow's career? Let us know over on Instagram at FixItPod or email us, lemmefixitpod@gmail.com. And now it's time for everyone's favorite segment, The Glow Up, where we give props to those who've turned themselves around without our help. Delon, why don't you go ahead and go first?
Okay, great. So this is a bit of a shady glow up, friends, class. My glow up goes to fashion gaslighting. So they call it couture is what they call it, where, fashion, it's the part of the season or the fashion season where Balenciaga and all of the brands come up with their couture, their experimental line.
It's art versus
art.
Fashion.
And I'm talking about Balenciaga in particular. It's terrible is what it is.
These look like alien feet.
These are alien shoes. These are, they're these shoes that kind of resemble New Balance, some kind of running shoe, but they're pointy like a diamond where the main part of your foot is. And they come so far out. It looks like a clown shoe, right?
It does look like a clown shoe. It really does. And it has all of these like exterior wings and rivets. And
it's so weird. And here's the deal. I understand that it's art and art for clothing's sake, but like no one's buying this, and I know that they're not trying to get anyone to buy it, but I don't think anyone wants to see it. Like why this? What's the point of it?
Yeah, it does look. It's interesting that we're at this place in fashion because a lot of stuff has this look. Like the Yeezys kind of look like this too.
It's like streetwear trying to become high fashion.
And futuristic, right?
Yeah,
It looks like it's in motion. It looks like, I don't know, like it looks like there's a Gaussian blur on these shoes. Like it looks like and maybe that's the vibe they're going for, is that they're moving forward or something. It looks like when you chew some gum and you pull the gum apart. That's what the shoes look like.
Yeah. It's so funny, class. Me and Fran's faces, our faces are like we just ate a lemon. They're squinched up, being like trying to just figure out what the hell these things are. So these next two outfits, I didn't go through all of them, but one of them is literally the model has a shirt. Looks like a shirt on her head, right?
Looks like a lampshade.
Like a lampshade mixed with a shirt. The other model's wearing a butterfly with a lumberjack top and
I will say I do like the butterfly thing is not very practical, but I would rock that for Halloween.
Okay.
I could wear that to like a party of like a costume party of some sort. But
it's giving Eyes Wide Shut. It's giving Romeo and Juliet, the masquerade ball. But it's not, none of this is interesting to me. I guess we're talking about it. So
yeah, true.
But I feel like be gaslit with this couture thing.
Yeah, it's also like the oversized thing of it. And I get that oversized clothing is a style, but I guess in this respect, it feels almost like lazy. Like it's easier to just make the thing bigger than it is to make it fitted and actually kind of show off the model's figure or do something like interesting structurally. This is just like baggy and drapey.
And maybe that's the lazy is the vibe, because it's effortless, or like they're using some kind of buzzword now to describe it, I'm sure, right? But
it's lazy, but it's like $800,000.
That your 3 months rent, right?
Exactly.
So that's my shady glow. What's yours, friend?
Well, my glow up comes in the form of a listener letter from Lenne. Lenne says, "Hi, Francesca and Delon. Loyal fan of your podcast. I've been listening every week since episode 1. I love your rapport. Please tell me whether this is an SAT word or not." Rapport?
Listen, if colloquial isn't, rapport isn't. Colloquial is definitely an SAT word. Rapport is. It is. Is it?
Okay. All right,
because I would have to think about how to spell it. If you have to think about how to spell it, I think that classifies as an SAT
especially
word.
because it's got a T on there, and you're not supposed to pronounce it.
And a double P, English.
Because someone else might be a rapper, and that's not the way that you're supposed to say it. In a recent episode, Francesca was wondering what happened to Fifi Dobson. I wanted to let you both know that the beloved Canadian pop rock artist is still making music.
Okay, Fifi.
I had an opportunity to hear her speak about her career at a fireside chat at Sony Music Publishing in Toronto a few years ago. Okay, Fifi out here making music and inspiring the girls.
Okay.
She's been writing for herself and other artists behind the scenes for a while now, and she just came out with a new album.
Oh.
Check it out, Emotion Sickness, and they shared a link. She might not be heading to the States anytime soon, but maybe take a field trip to Canada sometime to catch her next show. Anyways, you're both awesome, and I'm looking forward to laughing along with next week's episode. Take care, Lenne. Now, the class really comes through. They say you're going to get this learning. You're going to get this extra credit. Thank you very much for keeping us in the know.
Yeah, and also y'all be listening. Y'all be listening to this podcast and
taking notes.
And right, because when we go, what happened if Fifi Dobson in passing and conversation, people are like, "Oh, I know," and they email us. We love you for that. Thanks, Lenne.
I will say, I also love the idea that when we say, "What happened to Fifi Dobson?" Lenne is in the car going, "I just saw her at a fireside chat."
Well, people when they talk about our podcast, they go, "I feel like I'm having a conversation with you all." So I'm sure Lenne is yelling at the radio, right?
I hope so. We're very honored. It means a lot.
Yeah, legit. So we want to hear from you, class. I mean, do you have a dog pun that Bow Wow should have his last album? What his last album is? I don't know.
I was gonna say also tell us who your favorite Lil artist is. There's so many littles.
Class,
there's so many littles.
Lil Debbie. I'm still mad about Lil Debbie. That was good. Or class, maybe you want to suggest a TV show, celeb, or brand we should fix in the future. Hit us up on Instagram at FixItPod or email us, lemmefixitpod@gmail.com.
And exciting news, we are back to posting on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@fixitpod. And I'm just going to give y'all a heads up, class. There's no editing. I'm not going to sit there and clip together every single time we fumble. We sweating. Sometimes Francesca's brain just shuts off in the middle of talking. And
I forget my point. Man, I'm just saying words, can't remember.
Oh, yeah. It happens all the time. But if you want an unfiltered, down and dirty version of the pod, please check us out over on YouTube. And if you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to give us a rating on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, or your favorite podcast app. I'm Francesca.
I'm Delon. And this was Lemme Fix It.
Oh, we got it that time.
We sure did.